What's up, guys? It is your boy Will, and welcome to another day, another video. Today is April 5th. Remember the 5th of April. I think that's how the saying goes. It's not. It is April 5th, day 49. I'm almost 60 days into it, and I have to say that I'm at that kind of make or break point where it feels like I have to put in the extra. And there's like stages to developing habits and doing things different. And there's the newness and the excitement, the what do you call? Oh, frick, I forgot what it's called. Variety, the variety aspect of it, where it's like, dude, it's new, it's fresh, everything is kind of unique. And then as things prolong and get longer, you get to this point where you're like, oh, it's the norm. And it's like mundane, and it's not as exciting as when you started and stuff like that. And then when you get to that point, that's when it's like a crucial make or break kind of moment for you, because you're like, frick, I gotta lock in. I gotta keep going. I gotta not, even though this is boring, even though this isn't the most fun thing in the world to do, even though this, like, it's not as exciting. My muscle, like, I'm used to it. Then that's when you have to find new ways, new incentives and things like that, or find new challenges, as well as just do it. It's a steal from Nike. Just do it. Just freaking do it. And that is where I was at yesterday. Yesterday I was going through and I was like, dude, I do not want to be doing this right now. I don't want to be there. And we got through it though. And so now that's the problem, is when you don't want to do it, you got to do it still. And I've talked about that a few times in a few other videos and stuff like that. But the reality is, just quit being a little punk. Just go out and do it. So today is legs and core. We have leg press for 410s. I'm starting at 348. Leg extensions, 312, starting at 145. Seated hamstring curls, 312, starting at 160. Standing calf raises, 415, starting at 110. And then I'm adding chest dips into it just because I want to improve my chest dips. And so I'm probably going to try and do chest dips every single day. Just start throwing that in there so I can do more reps, stay consistent with it, and just do more of that kind of stuff. Hanging leg raises, 315s, and then planks, 3 for 30 seconds. So that is the workout today, and I'm excited to get after it. It is, we're here for it. We're there. We are freaking there. I did want to add to this video, during the videos, I kind of like, let me talk about something pop culture-ish. Let me talk about something in the news, in the know. And I'm not going to get political. I'm just going to state facts. This conversation has the potential of being political. I'm not going to get political about it. I don't really care. But one thing that my wife and so I am not a gamer. I stopped playing video games after the COVID break and stuff like that. I bought an Xbox 4. I distinctly remember when we got sent home during COVID. It was like, hey, we're at least going to have you guys gone for a month. So it was like, we were working from home for a month. We're not in the office or anything like that. Just as we figure this stuff out, it was like right when all the initial news was breaking and people were a little bit more nervous. I lived in Idaho at the time, and if you don't know, Idaho did not care at all. No one in Idaho cared about COVID. No one wore masks. No business required a mask to get in during all of COVID, basically. But there was an initial scare where my specific office was like, hey, let's just chill. Let's just, go work from home. So during that time, I was like, frick, what am I going to do all day? I did two things primarily. One, extra of the norm, right? Two things. I bought an Xbox. I went to Walmart that day, bought an Xbox, loaded up with Warzone, and I was playing back with the boys from Georgia, all my Georgia boys out there, and then we just Warzoned it out, and that was some of the most fun time ever because my work was super easy to get done, and so, the initial scare was awesome. What do we need to do? What do we need to transition? And then it was real easy. Hey, here are all the things that we're going to do and how we knock it out. So I got Warzone with an Xbox, and then I started walking at nights every single day, and so that was fun. And I listened to finance podcasts, and that's where I learned some of my financial habits and stuff like that. COVID was a key, learning how to invest. I started opening up investment accounts. I was learning how to, do all of these skills and these new things, and so that was the education part of my time. So I'm not a gamer, because then after that I moved to Arizona. I really stopped playing video games. I think I still had that Xbox through my first apartment in Arizona, but then I did remember throwing it in the dumpster, which is so sad, but I was like, I don't have time to play this anymore, and there's just all this stuff going on. But Zombies was my favorite. But anyway, in my adult life, about a year ago, we got a Switch, and that is where I learned about Mario Kart. Okay, I know. Like, my family did not grow up playing Mario games, and so I never really played Mario Kart. I went to a friend's house and was like, oh, okay, Mario Kart is there. But I never actually, like, okay, sat down and, like, I'm going to learn, I'm going to experience this. And then I learned about Mario Party. And then started playing with friends and stuff like that, and having, like, friends over. And we would play Mario Party, we'd play Mario Kart, and it's so fun. So I got really into the Switch, and I still am into the Switch. That is, like, my number one gaming console right now. Played Mario Kart literally last night. Me and my wife love, like, a nice Friday or Saturday night. We'll get some food, we will watch a movie, and then we'll throw up Mario Kart or Mario Party and play for a little bit. Super fun. So now you guys know where I'm going with this for sure. So we have the Nintendo Switch 2 was announced and looks so baller. Mario Kart Worlds looks super fun. I'm sure I don't really like the enhancements to the Mario Party Jamboree stuff. I turn off motion controls motion controlled games every time we play, just because we just haven't enjoyed the motion controls as much. And I might retry it, who knows. But anyway, there was this whole controversy about the price. It came out at $449 at $500 with the Mario Kart bundle. And then the digital version of Mario Kart was $80. And everyone's like freaking out. They're like, how can a video game cost $80? That's insane. And then I did the math. And a $60 game in 2017 when Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out, well, that's how much it cost, $60, adjusted for inflation is $78 today. So hot take, I don't think the price hike is that big of a deal. I think it is appropriate. Now, I understand people aren't making their incomes didn't necessarily rise with all of the inflation and stuff like that. So to like some people it is a hit, and then to some people $80, to a lot of people $80 for like an entertainment or like a random expense is a lot of money. But then you look at how many hours in playtime that you get. I think everyone that buys Mario Kart World, or majority, will probably over the course of the 5 years they own it, maybe get 80 hours worth of enjoyment out of it. And if you do that, you're basically paying $1 an hour for the enjoyment. And if you're a kid, and if you're buying this for your kid's going to get hundreds of hours, and maybe even out of 50 cents, 25 cents an hour of entertainment and fun and joy, and then the connection with friends and all of that kind of stuff. So, like, I think the value you get from a game like that is just lives forever, is totally justified in an $80 price tag. Especially a game like Mario Kart. Like, Mario Kart lasts forever. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe will still be played and enjoyed long after Mario Kart Worlds. And I know people who still go back and play the GameCube Mario Karts and stuff like that because it's nostalgic for them and they love it. And so, moral of it, for me, I think everyone is blowing the $80 price tag out of proportion. I think the value you get far exceeds the dollar amount, and like the world is just more expensive now. And to make really rich games, they're like, I want the best, absolutely most complete game with the best developers, but I also want it at a price that is unsustainable to create that. And so it's like, what do you want? Like, pay a little bit more for a game, and it's going to be better. And people are like, well, these companies are greedy. They're not actually. They're all about profits and all of that kind of stuff. And it's true, but these companies also think about their brand and longevity. They want to survive a long time. And so they need to make a good product. Because if the product truly sucks, there's so many games that nobody plays. And it's because the product sucks. And so with a Nintendo, with a game like Mario Kart, and an IP that is just so locked down and so built around value, everyone will have fun. And adjusted for inflation, I don't think it's unreasonable. Now, the crazy part, though, is that because of tariffs, because there's this new economic strategy from the White House, they postponed the pre-order because they're going to have to change the prices and make them more expensive, basically, for the tariffs and accounting for the tariffs, which that part sucks. And that is just kind of ridiculous. I see the need. There's a car pulling up next to me. Let's see if they awkwardly look. But I see 100% the need for the tariffs and the different things like that. And, like, you know, a bold strategy caught, and let's see if it works out for them. I understand the logic behind the decision that they made. But at the same time, I'm like, frick, dude, everything's about to get more expensive. And if we thought it was more expensive now, it wasn't. So let's just hope let's hope it works. I hope that manufacturing comes back to the United States and things get cheaper or we don't get ripped off. I don't know. So I understand the logic behind it, but anyway, it's just interesting. It's interesting that like we're in such a weird, turbulent time in the world and life that, you know, there is no certainty. There's just only variety right now. And so we'll see if we get back to a place of certainty in the future. Again, not political. I don't really care what you believe. I don't care. I don't care what you believe politically. I care about a lot about what people believe. But when it comes to the political stuff like that, I'm not trying to get political on it. But yeah, interesting stuff. A little bit of story time. The Switch 2, super excited for. I'm getting it regardless. I'm getting Mario Kart Worlds regardless. It's going to be super fun. My wife and I are going to get probably hundreds of hours of like companionship and entertainment from being able to play together and game together. Couples that game together stay together. I don't know. We also work out together and we do that kind of stuff too. So anyway, that was a little bit of an update, a little bit of a pop culture thing. Let me know in the comments what you think. And please try not to be political. Please be respectful to everyone in the comments. But anyway, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I also dropped a Dallas vlog video. Check that out. Super fun to make. And I have just ideas. Editing it, I was like, awesome, here's some other cool things and different ideas that I can do for future videos. So make sure you go check that out as well. First link in the description. I'm going to just drop it right there. Like the first thing you see, boom, it's going to be a link to that video. So anyway, thank you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.